Thank you guys for coming out to the event today. This is MBR Media, GC Radio, Clothing Lines, and also Second Life Media debut. Today we have Dave Toliver from Men at Large, who will come in and enlighten us with his Second Life experience in the past and his forthcoming concert. We will be here on the 28th of May, 3 o'clock SLT time, coming to this right now. I'm Chief Inglewood of MBR Media, GC Radio, Get Connected Radio, and I will pass it over to Mr. Toliver. Mr. Toliver, mind stepping up to the podium, please?
My name's DJ Creator, Building Shaker. I represent the Heat DJs, Worldwide City City, Coast to Coast. I also represent the Heat DJs, Second Life. How is your, podcast, radio show? Where did it start at, and why did it start?
Well, for me, I started off in radio when I was 15. My uncle/dad was one of the top programmers in the nation. His name was Len Toliver. We just lost him last year. I mean, he broke so many cats' records. Like how they say, Funk Flex put a drop on it, or Greg Street out here in Atlanta. He was that before them guys even, started. They were in their infantile stages when he started. So he started me off. So now I did that for, good 16 years on WZAK in Cleveland. From that, I went to doing my other stuff, but this show that I have now, it's a typical name, Party and Bull-ish. You know how you flip it around, Bull-ish. And it's myself, and I have two DJs, DJ Deuce and DJ Just Nice. And it's a 2-hour classic R&B and hip hop mix show with me clowning on there. And like y'all been hearing me if y'all been hearing it in the stream, the pre thing, I'm just on there clowning. I do stories. I try to stay away from the trending stories because in some places it's recorded, so I don't want to time lapse. Right. So I just have fun, man. I live life. I try to teach. I saw we were losing a lot of celebrities to heart problems. I did like a whole show on cardiomyopathy, or I'm do a show on. I was talking about beans or the favorite places to go eat. The beans. The more you eat, the more you, So, but they're good for you. It's protein, high in protein. But my man Chubb Rock. I am the Chubb Rock. He got me back into radio because Chubb Rock has his own network. I think he's on like about 16 stations with his thing. Offered the opportunity with a Cumulus station here in Atlanta to take over the weekend programming from 5 o'clock Fridays to Sunday at 5, and he gave me a spot. He always said, he would try to get something. He had been trying to get me to come on his station, and I was just so caught up in the money that I missed the money part. Now he getting the money, and I missed it. But I'm getting it now with my own. Now it's about 27 stations, some FM, some digital. I'm in London. I'm in the Virgin Islands, Chicago, Cleveland, Tennessee, Texas, Florida. It's a bunch of stations, and I enjoy it, man. I love this. It's in my blood, man. This has actually been, and if I had to pick between this, the music, and I probably would do this because there's so much. I don't know, man. You don't have to do much. I don't have to travel. I can just sit at the crib like I'm doing. Well, I'm in Second Life now, but I'm saying if I'm not in Second Life, I'm at the crib recording my shows.
So what would that be like? Let's say, for instance, you start doing shows, so you start liking it here. What's that going to be like for you? What kind of transition do you think that you would have to make if you were to, live it in a Second Life as well? Do you think you'd be able to do something like that?
I'm definitely doing something like that in Second Life, and it should start coming on. I mean, we grown here. It's the Party and Bullshit show. You know what I'm saying? Everybody love a party. It should start here. I think in the next week. See the big black guy with it walking around like he's Suge Knight. Man, Big Rob Rosenthal is bringing me over to GC Radio, so it should be starting next week sometime. When I come over there, I think I will probably want to do it live and do something different. I'm going to see if I can coordinate with my DJs or maybe pair it with another DJ and do it live instead of giving, but I got hella shows, man. I got like 100 shows in the joint that's ready to rock out. I'm going to be that advocate and reach out to like my guy Lil G from Silk, Tony Terry, Case, my guys from Shy, my dudes from Rough Ends, Next. Like those are all, like my personal friends, Lily and them from SWV. I mean, y'all might run into some, some of those bigger echelon 90s groups that I know. You might have run into some, some, what is the word? Apprehension because, well, how if y'all gonna use us, it's gonna help y'all. But I think they have to see the near future because Gerald's son, Gerald Levert's son, Micah, sent me something where they were using this AI technology where Kanye actually did one of Gerald's songs in the studio, but it was an old studio picture that we were in, they took us out, and it was Gerald and Kanye West, like they were in the
Right.
studio back in the day. So I'm
Right.
saying you got to see where this is going, and if they're not going to protect people from, taking your likeness and doing stuff like that, you might as well get ahead of it. If you know you're going into a neighborhood where it's a lot of crime and it's a lot of crap, you want to go in there protect it when you know you have no choice but to go in there.
So let's talk about with radio. Are you doing podcasting more? Or are you doing radio together?
In a sense, if I took all of my talk segments and put them with, just stripped away the mixing component, I think it would qualify as a podcast as well. But as you can see, I can talk, man. My daughter is like, okay, I'm just, and I said, you do realize you have the same genes, because as soon as, before she started driving every day, we would talk from the time she gets in there. Dad, you won't believe it. From the time we got there, it takes about 30, 40 minutes to get home from her school, to the time we pull up in the driveway, it's like 1 or 2 stories. And I appreciate that. I miss those times. But this is something, I was telling my guys, I was like, man, it's time to capitalize off all of the streams. Like I could run the mix show, and I could also do like a live podcast, man. I'm very big on relations, man. I'm like an unlicensed counselor, or mental health, man. I've had highs and lows in my life. I had a lot of losses, man, and I'm a person like me.
You can relate.
People usually, people usually come. I've been diagnosed with depression, not to the point where I had to take pills and stuff like that, but I needed to sit my big ass down with a therapist. And, when you sit down with that therapist, like, it's like, I'm a person that I'm like the walking black box, I call myself. Like, people always call me with all their stuff. Like, and I tell you, I've lost everything at one point in my time. I've lost most of my close, elders and different stuff like that. I lost a lot of homies, and not just from the pandemic before. And people be like, man, I don't know how you keep going. I said, well, I don't get a chance to stop, because I got to come back and wipe your ass every time I turn around. So it's like, I might, so it's, but once you get that therapist, though, it gives you a chance to step outside of your life, and since we're here, go into a second life where there's no contention, where you can just be you with no judgment, nobody trying to compete with you for your story, but they're just listening. Man, when I would leave my therapist's office, when I do, man, I'd be ready to go to sleep. One time I had to pull over. I had talked so much and cried so much in there. Yeah, and I'll cry. I had to pull over because it was so good to just be able to talk and not have to, yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear that. But you know what, man, I lost all my money and my grandmother yesterday. Her leg got cut off, and then my uncle fell down the steps and broke his neck. I said, man, did you hear me? I just lost my best friend in the whole world from a sudden heart attack. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, yeah, but my grandmother's cousin's uncle, man, he got shot 3 times. I'm like, give me a second, man. Let me breathe. So that's what the therapist is for, man,
Yeah.
And man, it's being that it's Mental Health Month. Take time. I'm going to say this to everybody listening. Take time to take care of yourself. Because if you don't, ain't nobody else gonna take care of you. They say if nobody is willing to make you an option, why make them a priority? Take care of yourself.
I would love to hear about new music, and I want to find out, you came into SL, which is exciting. Are you going to be debuting any of your new music, or are you going to be kind of going vintage old school for us at the concert? Because I'm really excited. I think it's going to be an amazing event.
The thing that's going to be so amazing about it is that, some people will know and some won't, but they know they're going to be entertained by the time they finish, because I'm one of the singingest fools ever. And so I'm going to probably focus on new music, but I'm going to definitely do some of my hits, some of my records that have charted. And speaking of Mother's Day, our biggest record is called So Alone. It was a song that Gerald Levert wrote for my group, Men at Large, to sing when she passed away. Crazy story about that is we signed the contracts. 2 months later, she passed away. So she never really got a chance to see all this matriculate. I'm sure she saw it from heaven on high, but, I'm definitely going to debut some of this new stuff. And I should have brought my daughter in here, but she's not old enough to come in the Second Life yet. She has some great music, but as far as me, I'm going to focus on some of this new stuff, man. I've been trying to, not trying, but definitely dibbling and dabbling in some of the Southern soul stuff. You know, that I call that blues mixed with R&B. You
Ooh.
know, and just some, you know, my new singles, and just dibble and dabble in, you know, some of my joints, man. Honestly, this will be an updated version of we did this before, and I was really excited. So I'm really excited to do it again this time, where there will be more people involved in seeing it. So I'm excited, man.
Well, I'm Zach Haiku, ATG Entertainment Weekly. Hi. Can you tell us about any upcoming tours you have?
So right now, you know, I'm in the R&B group Men at Large, with a 90s group. Did a little damage back in the day, discovered by Joe Levert, son of the legendary Eddie Levert of the OJs. We're presently touring, promoting our album. We released it last June, called Love Benefits. It's a reintroduction to us, as well as a take on how to approach the youngsters. It's a really dope album. It's called Love Benefits. It's available on all platforms. I'm also touring with my guy Joe Little, man, because we kind of feel like we're the last guys left out of that camp that are really, you know, moving around. Like, you know, I'm in a group, but like I do everything, man. You know, so and Joe is in the group, and the Rude Boys, they lost two of their original members passed away. One of them had two major strokes, so he can't go on the road. So him and I are touring together, doing a Gerald Levert tribute, booking that. And also I'm an actor. I'm in plays, man. I'm in 3 different traveling plays. One called Daddy's Home, but my husband ain't. That one's let's see, we in Birmingham on the 21st. We all over. Go to daddy'shometoplay.com for tickets and schedule. Another play called Child Support. That'll be in Nashville, July 29th. That's me and Lil G from Silk, and Thelma from Bernadette Standish from Good Times. And September 23rd in DC at the Carver Theater. Myself and Terrell Carter from Empire. He's playing my son. Go picture that. So, you know, so you can get tickets for that through Live Nation. That's in DC. But I'm all over the place with it, man, right now. Just trying to keep the lights on, the mortgage paid, my daughter's tuition at her high school, and, you know, just trying to be a positive influence. You know, do the right thing, man. But I love being on the road, man. As long as I can stand up on my own and I'm in my right mind, I'm gonna keep doing it nonstop. Like Eddie, I just saw Eddie, you know, he's sitting down now, but he's 80 years old. I got 27 years till I'm there, 27 years and 2 months. And so as long as I can keep killing it like that, I'm doing it. I love the tour. Tour game is fantastic. It gives you a break from your wife and family, man. When you're in a relationship and y'all see each other my wife's a teacher too. So when you see each other all day, every day, especially in the summertime, y'all both have strong personalities, you know, going on tour helping last, man. I ain't gonna even lie, man. But yeah, I'm out here.
Yes, hi Dave. Thank you for coming out. This is Glow with MBR and
Hello, Glow.
Radio, and also Printed Clothing. I see that like family played a lot in you getting into the business. How does this spill over with you getting into the business? How does that spill over into your family?
Wow, crazy thing is, my son and my daughter both aspire to be in the music business. I think my daughter more so than my son. My son is from my wife's previous relationship, but I mean, you know, I don't use the word step. He's 20, just turned 25 on the 10th, and I've been with him since he was 4 years old. So that's mine. Anybody ever say step, I'm punching them in their face. I don't play that. And he's been heavily influenced by seeing me. Like, he didn't like really run around with me like I took my daughter to stuff, but I can tell he definitely has been influenced by my musical career because he loves to write, and he raps like, you know, the little babies and stuff like that. And, you know, he talks proper, but he likes to rap mushy. But when you can hear him, he's saying some good stuff. And, you know, he doesn't really ask for my help. He does his own thing. You know, he tore up my studio, moving to his new crib, and it's spotless, and mine is in shambles. And he just moved out about 4 months ago, so now I got to go redo it. My daughter, that's a whole different story, and I understand like the genes. And what I didn't want to do was force either of my kids to do anything. I wanted them to
Right.
find their own passions in their lives. But I guess it was kind of like I say, when cats want their kids to be in sports, they put that ball in the crib when they're born. Like I didn't do any of that. I just my life was really hectic and really busy. And at 1, 2, 3, 4, she saw me in plays, saw me performing, saw me on TV. And I guess she just kind of caught the bug. And my wife used to say, she's not gonna be able to sing high like that. She has this raspy, man. Her voice, it just changed all of a sudden. And she is like 15 years ahead of me as far as like maturity with her talent. She plays the piano, the saxophone. She writes like 20 years beyond her age group. And she has 2 singles out, right? She really has like 4 singles out. 2 that she did on her own called Just and Distressed that she wrote and arranged and produced all of the vocal stuff. My guys Nova and FC did the tracks for the other songs, but the other 2, she goes to a private school here called Landmark. And if anybody know anything about church, one of those big churches called Passion. She was 12 and she went down there and she won a talent competition against all high schoolers. And there was like 1,000 kids in there going crazy. She won, she beat everybody. And the next school year, they built a music academy and made her the face of it. They didn't give me no discount on tuition, but they made her the face though. And from that point on, she has been nonstop with the music.
Wow.
And she is incredible. Her name is Danae. Well, her name is Danae Toliver, but her artist name is Danae Marie, Danae Marie, and her stuff is on all platforms too. Danae.
Okay. Are you guys planning on doing any collabs?
I think she's scared of me. I'm not even lie. I'm serious. Like, no, seriously. Man. She sings way better than me, and we're 2 different type of singers. I'm more power, and I do some of the tricks with my voice. But her vocal palette is like Brandy or Jasmine Sullivan. That's how I would comparatively put her with them. I can't do some of that stuff. I do the hard. I might do some. She go like Layla Hathaway doing that. I can't do that. And so, but I think as much as she tells me I'm garbage, I think that every time I say something, no, that's not it. No, and I honestly I do think she's scared, and like what she doesn't know is I'm scared of her because she is like incredible, man. Like I'm not scared of her. I ain't scared of nobody, but she is.
We look forward to hearing it.
Yeah, man, she dope. Yeah, I had a taste of it before, but now it's I have more time on my hand, maybe to really enthrall myself into it. And but I love it, man, because it gives you a chance to step into the other you without, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna say without judgment, so to speak. I guess that's kind of why this place was created, to people come in here and just be themselves without judgment, for those that couldn't get around or were maybe afraid to be visible in the public and just be who they wanted to be, their true selves without judgment. So, y'all took me on this tour yesterday around here, and I just, I remember it from last time, but it's so amazing to think, man, that we living in the Jetsons age. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up on the Flintstones and the Jetsons, but it's like we're living in that age, but we passed it. We passed it. Like it's like we're past anything that they showed us on TV. But
I did hear you have a concert coming up here in Second Life.
I do, and I believe that's the 27th at. You said the 27th, right? The 27th at 5 p.m., which is 2 SL time.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're gonna tear it off. I'm being here getting nasty. No, I'm just being here, showing off. Doing my thing, singing, not singing. It's a difference. Singing, not singing. Yeah, it's going down. I'm gonna focus on some of the new stuff, some of the hits, and just have a good time, man.
Will you be doing like a meet and greet so that people are able to actually meet the real Dave Toliver right here in Second Life?
Man, whatever y'all want to do, yeah, man. Big Rob is running it, so if you say, hey, man, we need to do this, yeah, we're doing it.
Hi, my name is Taponi Sky. And
hey, Taponi Sky.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
You too.
I am the owner of Virginia Vibes Elite, and I'm a model for printed exclusive fashions along with MBR Media. And my question is, how do you like going on tour versus when you first started?
Yeah, like going on tour now as opposed to when I first started.
Yeah.
Y'all, we in Second Life, so I can just be totally honest with you. I don't ever want to stop going on tour. What I don't like now is that I've become like this squeamish germaphobe, and like I just got home from San Antonio yesterday, and the hotel that they had us in it was a Hampton. I'm like, dog, I do Hilton, but not really Hampton, B. You know what I'm saying? Give me the Hilton Garden Inn or the signature ones they got right now are really nice. Then I walk in, and it just seems like since I've become this squeamish, I see every stain and mark on the wall in Florida there is. So I seen something on the floor. I said, oh God. I had to throw a towel down and walk over it. And, you know, like I sleep in like sweats and a hooded t-shirt and lay on the sheets, throw the covers on the floor. But I think the difference back then, it was I didn't give a damn. I didn't have any cares. It was just me, my guys. We were going out. We could do whatever we wanted to do without any repercussion, you know, so to speak. But now I have to be careful about the things I do, I say, because everything is filmed. You know, you have a family. You know, back then you could do, and hear me out. We in Second Life, we could do whatever the F we wanted to do with, you know, without, you know, people seeing it. Like I'm sure there's some videos and some pictures, but like who playing VHS tapes? Like now, who playing them little tapes that went in the side of the video cameras, man? I got some footage. It's here in the house somewhere. I got some footage. But now, but I wouldn't change it for a thing. I really enjoy it, man. Like, but now it's just kind of like more of a job, but it gives me a chance, it like stepping into a real second life, because I'm out there and really what happens out there is like Vegas, you know, but still, I love it. I love it. But the difference is, I don't know, I wasn't so uptight about or meticulous about the Jeremy stuff. I was always like, well, if I see something on the wall, man, you got to change my room. Like this weekend, my room smelled like cigarettes. Like, and you would think that's some old hourly rental type motel, but it was a Hilton Hampton Inn. Like, I'm like, B, can't put me here like this no more. And it wasn't that it was it was just old. And so when things get old, sometimes they start to come off and start to change color, and it makes me squeamish. I think that's pretty much the only difference. But I mean, I love it either way. I love it in the 90s more just because I could do whatever the hell I wanted to do and didn't have to come home and hide it or or feel guilty about doing it. Now, if you do some stuff now, you gotta hide it. You know, make sure she don't see your underwear, or you feel guilty about it. Wear something. It's just you do. I'm in second. That's why I'm in Second Life. I ain't got to worry about hiding my underwear in Second Life. I can just go for it.
I'm Laws. I'm a partner in Rise Production, the one that actually did the commercial for this. So I'm also a partner in Second Life Video Creators Group. So it's really nice to meet you. I did have a question from a person in the stream. They're curious to know what stokes your creative fire and what keeps you moving so forwardly motivated.
I think what stokes my creative fire is just life. The things that I've been through, the things that you write, the best songs and things are things that you've been through. And I think, man, I've had so much motivation, whether it be my own experience or seeing other people go through things, or some of like my best songs. Like I wrote a song one time called Killer Man, and it was about my guy, one of my best friends, one of our homeboys who we thought was our homeboy, had slept with his wife. And one of the other guys knew about it but didn't say nothing. Then they told me, and I was like, oh my God. So I put that in the song, and it was called, because everything in the song, it was one of I never released it because it had this sample in it, and I couldn't get clearance for it, but I might just throw it on YouTube. Just the quest to, man, it feels good, man. Creating, whether it's, music or, being a part of a production or something, it just feels good. That's what stokes, something new. And then being able to look at it. It's like watching your child graduate from high school or graduate from college, your creativity. But Tell me that. Say that second question one more time. What was the second question again?
What keeps you forwardly motivated?
The bills. You know, the mortgage, the tuition. You know, I can't wait till they all done with school so I can, you know, because they all gonna get scholarships and full rides. And my son did. He has a computer science degree from Jackson State. Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to being able to finally spend some money on myself over the last, 20 years and be free. I not only that though, but it's like it's like being addicted to something. Like, but this is a good addiction, man, because great things come out of my motivation to do what I do. Because sometimes you never know, some of the things that you talk about in your music or your art, it heals people. Our biggest record to date is a record called So Alone. And it was a record about my mom passing. And I probably sung that song at 1,000 funerals, probably since 1992, since December of 92. I've been singing that song in every show I performed at. There's no way I can never not perform that song. That'll probably be the song before the last song I do on the 27th, because I have to. And but so many people have told me, "Oh my God, that song. I thank you for that song." It, that's the type of thing that keeps me, driven. And then I saw they had this thing on the other day where somebody was celebrating 25 years of marriage, and they had one of our songs called "Would You Like to Dance?" And they were like, "Man," and then we reacted to it, and they were just so overjoyed that to think that a group from 30 years ago would respond to what they were posting and say something. And even like we they're in Cleveland, so we have which will probably be our last appearance together in the city of Cleveland in Labor Day weekend for Shaw High School's reunion. We invited them out to show as our guests, and they were just like super stoked. So that's what keeps me stoked, to keep other people stoked and to keep the lights on. And just because I'm addicted to it, man, I can't stop. If I couldn't, I can't stop, man. And the blessing, the gift of today's world is where we are now. If I couldn't walk, if I couldn't talk, I could figure out how some type of technology where if I typed it in, it would sound it out. I love you so, and I would just have to make it comparative to the notes, and it would work out. But yeah, that's what keeps me stoked, dude.
Welcome back to SL, dear. My question to you is, now that you're back, I am a part of the Black Girl Magic Network organization here, and I've put on some of my own events. My question to you is, besides putting on your own event, would you be open to doing guest appearances at other events on the grid?
Oh man,
if you were invited. So I wanted to know if you would be open to that. And then getting back on what you referenced a while ago about our mental status as a people.
Mm-hmm.
The stigma is, you don't talk to nobody. What happens in this house stays in this house. So the other problem is that a lot of people will, and no offense to anyone, but we want to talk to somebody that looks like us.
Right.
And there is a shortage. Did you find that to be a problem with you?
I think they should have faith in the process. I do understand wanting to have someone that looks like us, because that's what my wife wanted from my daughter, because we put her in there because we didn't. I didn't realize how much she was suffering too. All the things, everybody that I lost. Like, when we moved to Atlanta from Cleveland, we sacrificed the group family thing, but we gave them a better life here. And I just didn't realize how affected she was by all the people that I lost, because they were the closest people to her too, that she had made relationships with in the family. And that was one thing she was a stickler about. And I was like, give it a chance. And, she had a white lady, and she was pretty good with her. And the thing is, I think people get it misconstrued, because you don't have to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I think that's when you go to them when you're more into areas of schizophrenia, those deeper mental issues, but just a regular clinical depression, overly stressed, overwhelmed. You could go to a counselor or a regular therapist that they have in those companies as well. That that can help you. Because I tell you this, I went to see a lady, and after my first best friend passed away, and it was crazy. I was doing a play, and she was on the red carpet, and she said, "Well, I'm a therapist too." I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Man, I've been telling her, I need to get in it." So she helped me realize that I still hadn't mourned my mother yet. And this had been 28 years at the time that she had been gone. She died at 38 years old in 1990. Two months after we signed our contract, she was gone. And I came in there when, now mind you, she's not a psychologist or psychiatrist. She's just a therapist or a counselor. I went into her office. She's a Black lady too, younger than me. And she said, "Your homework is to come back and give me 3 questions that you want to ask your mother at 3 different ages. If she was here, how would you ask her?" And I don't know how she did this. And maybe she just put it together from the things I was telling her about me and my life. But I asked her those 3 questions, and she answered them as if my mother was sitting on the other side of me. I lost it. I lost it. So you have to trust the process, and there is you, like, as they do an analysis on you, you can do the same with them. And if you don't like them, you don't like their presentation, you're free to change and go see somebody else. But the one thing you don't want to do is get with somebody that hasn't been through anything. Just because you got book smarts don't mean life smarts. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So through anything through here in Second Life, y'all just contact Big Rob over there, and he'll make sure we connect. This has been my guy for a long time, so he'll handle all of my my appearances. Anything anybody wants me to do in here, you can just go through Big Rob over there. Everybody at NBR Media. And I'll be glad to do anything. I'm excited about this, man. To be one of the first from my community to jump on this is a big plus for me. Because if I bring them in, they're going to have to show me some love.
Hi, Dave. My name is Jeannie. I am with Saphira
Hey,
Vortex
Jeannie.
Media as a creative collaborator. I'm curious, you talk about having a lot of stuff going all at once. You've got tours, you've got new music, you've got kids and family, and now you're going to reach out and start doing a lot of stuff in Second Life. How do you preserve time for you? How do you keep yourself? Because we get lost in it sometimes and we forget who we are or take time for ourselves. I'm curious how you do that for yourself.
This here, for me today, believe it or not, is therapy. I am at total peace. Anytime that I'm doing something, even if the business isn't right, it's peace for me. So my daughter was just recently in a production called Beauty and the Beast with her school. And I was talking to one of the parents, and I was just telling them about how busy they were all the time with their work. I've never seen a backpack so heavy from these kids. And he said, "Well, they complain about this and complain about that, but they was like, this is what you wanted to do. So this is your free time. This is what I wanted to do. So this is my free time. If it was going to hinder me that much, I would quit. I ain't gonna even lie to you and go back. I got a degree too. So I go into the corporate world. I just haven't never used it. And I don't know what type of job I get because I don't have a work history of at one place except for being my own boss for 30 years. But if it really tormented me that much, I'd be done with it. This is my family. You guys are my family now. So yeah, I'm groovy with it. And everybody handles it different. And it's not that easy. But for me, it just is. This is my refuge right here.
The question is here, how well do you think it's going to take? Because, real life, you walk into a room, you dapping everybody up, everybody looks familiar. Here is not the case. It's kind of like you're going on different sides of the grid. So what's that going to be like for you when you're actually going to be doing it here, when you want to introduce it to your people that is close to you, like you said, Next and all them, Silk and everybody? How are you going to let them know, like, yo, listen, you can come to Second Life, but this is how you got to do it? So I guess what's your perseverance for that?
I think what happens with a lot of these cats is, and I'm not saying directly who, but I think sometimes these cats think because they have a bigger body of work or a bigger body of sales that they're might be above you or deserving of more than you certain times. But I don't think this is going to be a hard sell at all to any of these guys. I know not Lil G or Tony Terry, because this is a chance to advance your platform in front of potentially millions of people that you ain't never gonna get on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Man, this shit right here is crazy because at any given time, somebody walking through here naked because your graphics haven't caught up yet. So I'm just saying, this is really dope, and I think if nothing else, you can use it as another talking point for yourself on your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other aspects of what you're doing. And there's so many people in here where you can do different type of collaborative efforts to enhance what you have going on and make it different. Like if I'm sitting over there and I'm talking in here and then I put on and I'm like directing it, addressing it. Like if I went to the NBR studios in the office and I'm talking and just telling them what's going on, and then I post it on they're gonna be like, "Yo, that's fire. Where you get that from? How put me down with the, and I'll send a direct text to everybody. You need to be a part of this, dog. Flip it and make it work for you. You know what I mean? So they don't be asking for you. How much you get paid? Nah, it ain't about to pay up front, man. We ahead of the game with this. None of our white counterparts, nobody else is doing this yet.
First of all, I want to thank a lot of people that came out. Around the Grid News, thank you so much for allowing us to collab with Eclipse Donor the Sim to come here. This nice background presentation, wells in the background, the water, just a pleasant environment to have this media day with MBR Media, Printed, and GC Radio. I'd also like to thank DJ Creator coming out, and he's helping us stream online. Rise Productions for also streaming online for us. There's a lot of people, other media radio stations are here. At this point, I'd like to wrap this up. I would like to thank Dave and all of you guys for coming out. There's a media board behind us that On the Grid News put out there with our logos on it. If you guys like to take a picture with Dave, logos, please let me know. We'll update Dave's profile. Look him up in World. All of his links to follow him, his movements. For engagements that you'd like him to speak and log in on. As you see that we're not doing a tribute, it's really Dave Toliver here. We will discuss with him, see what he can do throughout his schedule to support. And I'll arrange that with him. And we want to thank each and one of you guys for coming here on this day off and Mother's Day to enlighten Dave and welcome Dave with open arms to Second Life. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
Due to unforeseen real-life circumstances, the concert will be postponed until further notice. For more information or any questions, please contact Chief Inglewood.